What's up, everybody? It's Crosscurrent. Today I'm talking about Barony some more. So it's been about a year and a half since my last huge guide on the game. And since this game's soon to be free on Epic Games, I'll make you an updated guide. So the way that I go about this is I talk about every little thing right here, and then I show you some gameplay and talk about everything that I find along the way. So it's very possible that I might miss a couple things in the game, but if I do, just comment below on what it is. If you got a question, let me know and I'll answer it. Don't drop a dislike and talk smack because there's no point to that. But if you do like the video, please smash that subscribe button. Don't be like the 6,000 from the other video that did not subscribe. Well, at least, maybe 100 of them did. But still, let's get to 1,000, guys. Let's do this. Also, just so you guys know, I will be doing a 24-hour stream on Thursday at midnight till Friday at midnight. Check me out, twitch.tv/crosscurrent. Now, getting straight into it, we're going to talk about the introduction and the credits. Both of these, they're cool things, but they're not essential. The introduction gives you a little bit of a backstory on the game of Barony. Basically, evil lich guy puts people in dungeons to serve him, and you're trying to kill him. In the classic version. Extended version, much more complicated, would not suggest that for your first run. Credits, you see that after you beat the game. It's honestly more satisfying if you beat the game. Just me. Custom content and workshop, I don't really mess with those because it can mess with the game files and make it really hard to start up the game. Fortunately, the devs are very active, so if or when you do have that problem, head to their Discord. I will put their Discord in the description so you can go there. They are very active. The community is considerably active considering this game came out in 2015, I believe. Also, I will link you my Discord if you're interested to play some games or want to drop by during the stream. I'll post that below. Now, the major thing that people mess up with in this game is the settings. Now, obviously, you got some of the regular settings like the resolution, extra options as well. That's all based off of appearance, field of view. If you're trying to speedrun, apparently having a bigger field of view is amazing because you can see more on your screen. I personally don't like it. I like consistency. I keep it the same. All the other stuff I've not really messed with a whole lot. You can zoom in on certain logs and inventory slots if you prefer, using the user interface options right here. I haven't found the need for it. With the audio, I right now have the music completely muted, but the music in the game is fantastic. It doesn't do it. I have to hit accept. I'm not going to do that, though. You can mute the pings. You can basically do some things that help you with multiplayer. Bindings, plain and simple. Mouse sensitivity, all that stuff. Gamepad, never had to mess with any of that. And miscellaneous just will actually greatly affect your game. So, starting off, I'm just going to talk about the auto hotbar. What the auto hotbar is something where you have below you about 10 options from 1 to 0, 1 to 9, and then 0. And this will put things they pick up on that hotbar. Kind of like World of Warcraft, you got number 1 through 10 where you can do abilities. Here you can use it to switch weapons, put on different equipment, use scrolls, etc. I personally use weapons of all sorts, potions and spells. Everything else I don't really use on a hotbar for the most part. Categories for inventory, I've never messed with that. I feel like that'd get a little weird, but maybe it would force all the items in a certain order in your inventory, so you don't have to organize it later on in the game. Still sounds a little confusing to me. Now, the game flags, this will affect the game in much more potent of a way. Now, the cheats, I've never messed with that. I think if you do that, it disables your Steam achievements and your save files. So, don't do that. Also, don't be the top 3 players in the game that are obviously cheating. You have to kill the final boss. But, get into that later. Friendly fire, this allows you not only to attack your teammates if you're doing a co-op game, but it also allows you to attack shopkeepers and AI followers that might follow you. Such as if you're a human, you can have other humans follow you. This would prevent that. It would allow them to follow you, but you can kill them if you want their stuff or whatever reason you have. Minotaurs. This is a classic mode. A classic. I can't even think of the word. Classic way to play the game. It makes you go quicker through the levels, and if a Minotaur icon pops up in the bottom right, a Minotaur will come out. These things can fly, they can break through walls, they hit like trucks. Don't mess with them. Hunger. Disabling the hunger will allow you to gain 5 hit points whenever you eat food. Although you do have hunger enabled, food will not heal you, but when you are full, you will gradually gain health over time. I personally think it's easier to have hunger off and just stock up on food. Traps. This will only remove the random traps. There are still going to be traps in the game, but there's going to be a lot of them if you have traps enabled. Most of the traps will either one-tap you or two-tap you if they don't one-tap you. Hardcore mode is an experimental mode, but it's a lot of fun. Every character seems to deal double the damage minimum and have a minimum of triple the HP. So you gotta be really careful how about you go playing the game. I will play a little bit of this on my stream just to show you guys the madness of it. But when you're doing hardcore, do not speedrun it. That is the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Take your time, try to beat the game. If you finish the game on hardcore, you're already in the leaderboards for speedrunning. It's that tough. Classic mode. Now, if you have classic check, that means that there will only be 20 dungeon levels, ending with Baron Herx, the guy who tossed all the people in the dungeons. If you have classic turned off, there are 35 dungeons, which allow you to face all sorts of other monsters and bosses in a really tough, intricate scenario. Now, there are other ways to also play this game, and there are certain little areas that you can go into to go to hell on level 5, underworld, whatever you want to call it, or go to the underworld or hell on level 19 to face the archdemon Baphomet. I'll have a different video for that, though. Keep inventory in depth. If you're playing alone, this is useless, and it's going to remove points from your overall score when you finish. But if you're playing with friends, oh, it's so nice. It's so necessary when you're playing with friends, so you don't just have to respawn with absolutely nothing. +1 life will disable all achievements, but it will give you an amulet of life saving, which will give you an additional life when you die, and the amulet will break. It's really helpful, but all these, when you have certain ones on or off, it'll remove points from your statistics when you finish your run. That being said, let's look at the statistics. So, off the bat, you see your characters that you last used. Some that might have gone really badly. Others that you finished the game with. Now, if you want to see multiplayer, you can switch like that, of course. If you want to view the Steam leaderboards, like let's say I want to make sure I'm still number 20, technically 17 though. For Classic, I'd scroll over, look through Classic, boom, 20th. And also, since you guys might not believe me, that is a hacker. 14 seconds, 20 levels, 0 kills. Impossible. Impossible. No proof, no items, little unlikely. The only person so far who has gotten the furthest in the game and proven it is Halo Dude. So this person, legitimate, #1 in my book. Alright, so, is there anything else that I missed? Obviously, quit means to quit the game. Haha. Okay, so starting a game. When you start a game, you'll have all the options of games that you quit in the past. Now, to quit the game, you have to actually leave the game. I believe if it just ends randomly, it might not have your score here. So you can load the game, you can end them if need be. I don't remember that, so I'm going to delete that garbage. Starting the game. So males and females, they do have actually some statistic changes. I believe it's more based around strength and intelligence. Since characters in this game are developed through an RPG system with strength, dexterity, some sort of hit point, modifier, defense. I'm botching this. Charisma, wisdom, stuff like that. Now, race will greatly affect that, but to own these other races, you have to buy the DLC for the game. They have 2 separate DLCs minimum, and it's a lot of fun playing those characters. Let's just go with the human for now, though. And it has race info right there. if you would like to see it. Yeah. Alright. So, back to the game. Alright, so let's talk about the classes. The Barbarian is a class that is solely built around strength and health. He has basically no defense. He doesn't have a lot of other items. I can't go into the details of every single item the characters have. That will be in a separate video. But Barbarians, if you like to hack and smash, go for it. Warriors, they have strength, but they're more built around defense and have a very good leadership ability. When you right-click on an ally in the game, an NPC ally, you then make them your ally and they will fight with you. Warriors are great for that. Little slow, not good at magic at all. Same with Barbarians, not good at magic. Healers, I would never suggest playing a healer in a solo game mode. You just don't have any damage to deal with anything. You have a quarterstaff, but you don't deal enough damage with it to really affect the game. Start with some healing potions, the ability to use healing spell, which is huge when you have teammates. Yeah. Rogue, I haven't messed with a whole lot. It's a very tough class. I would not suggest it off the bat. In the past, the shopkeepers would attack the rogues. I'm not sure if that still goes on, but they are very fast. They have lockpicks that can take stuff from chests with ease. And speedrunning, it would seem good, except that you have to fight the final boss, and rogues aren't good at that. They aren't good at actually fighting. Wanderer, this is basically a character that just has a staff and a bunch of helpful things for the dungeon. Food and equipment, but really not a lot to the character, unfortunately. Clerics are very slow. It is one of the best characters to start off with because you have a little bit of everything, even potions of healing, either fully equipped with armor, you've got some good health, you've got the potential to use spells, you've got everything you could possibly need. Merchants, these are for people who really just want to get lucky, good equipment without having to do as much fighting. Wouldn't suggest it in a solo run. Really tough to do. But it's great to have with certain allies because when you praise something, if you have a higher appraisal level, you have a better chance of finding something that's amazing. I'll show you that when I'm in the game, though. Wizards are shockingly even considered in speedruns, but not easily, of course. They are more late game character that focuses around spells, shockingly, less about melee attacking. Yeah, they have a lot of amazing spells at their disposal. The spells in this game are phenomenal, in my opinion. Arcanist, this is a character that has a few basic spells, but mainly focus on using a crossbow and wearing heavy armor, moving slower, etc. A lot of fun. Joker, this is for people who go extreme for speedruns. Now, the idea in the past with this character was you just run around using a ring of levitation and just cheese the game. Levels have been changed, fortunately, so this is not as much of a possibility. They have basically nothing except for a slingshot, weapon-wise, so you gotta play it very... You gotta know what's going on in the game to play this character. I still haven't messed with it very much, though. Sexton, this is basically like an evil priest guy who has a torch that doesn't seem to burn away. It's great for multiple players, but you can give them out since you have 3. He has the spell of sleep, which is great for just kind of escaping all the time. Does a decent amount of damage too, so good character to have. Decent knowledge of spells as well, so it's actually considerably easy. I don't know why it has listed as hard. I've never found that to be hard. Ninja is a hard class I love to specialize in. If you want to see a full in-depth guide on the ninja, I have one from a while ago. It's still up. It is great for speedrunning. The character is super quick and has a lot of damage to it. Throwing knives, bear traps, crystal sword. Unfortunately, will never be good with spells unless you get lucky, but the speed and damage alone can get you to the final boss and get you a win pretty quickly. The monk, this guy basically just goes around punching people. Fun fact about the monk, when the monk is at maximum level for using unarmed attacks and you hold the charge attack, you can stun enemies for a second and just keep them in that chain. Unless they're immune, I don't think it works as well with trolls. They're really good, they have a lot of defense as well. And all these other classes are from the DLC. That's when you earn them. I can talk about that in a later video if you guys would like. If there is anything you would like to see in a separate video that I have not discussed in this video right now, or haven't given enough detail, please let me know in the comments. I love making Barony guides as opposed to other guides. Alright, so right now we're gonna go with... we'll go with one of these two, Ninja. I don't believe being a separate appearance makes any difference, aside from looking cool, so I go with Mr. Whitehair Purple Eyes. And names, you can do random names. Also, if you want to make a challenge for yourself, you can do random character, which will be down there at the start of it. Cookie, we'll go with that. Cookie. Alright, so for game mode, single player, obviously it's single player, it loads you in. Hosting multiplayer, one person in your group must do this, and everyone else must hit join multiplayer to join in. Direct IP, I believe that's, I don't really mess with that a whole lot, but that's what devs will use if they have a new beta to test out. They'll host the direct IP, give it to you, and you'll type it in, and you'll join. Alright, so single player. Start off in level 0. Baron's gonna say, oh, there he is. No one joins the fray. Yep, okay, buddy. Alright, so, going over the game right now, to move it's WASD, shocker. If you want any tips on movements and basic gameplay, be sure to check out the Hall of Trials update, which will be on July 30th, I believe. Be sure to check the Barony Discord, they'll be posting updates about that. For me, to look at inventory, I have it set to tab. I'm not sure if that's the same for you, but in your regular inventory, you have all the items you pick up, your hotbar that I was talking about before, that can be set to auto-place things there, and a spell book, which, if there's a spell here, you could right-click on it to equip it, and it'll show a little hand next to it, and then you can press F, and it'll cast the spell. If you're in water, you cannot cast it successfully. If you're moving, it's tougher to cast it successfully, and the more mana it costs is typically how tough it is to use. Keep that in mind. Oh, the first door is locked. Oh, well, that's cool. So if you don't have lockpicks or anything else, when the first door is locked, or any other door, you just punch it down and go through. Alright. Equip anything from your inventory, you just right-click on it. I like to move torches down here. At the start of the game, I like to pick up some torches just because later on you might not have as much of an option. And if you don't have a shield, you might as well hold something that gives you a little more vision down the tunnels. It can make a hefty difference. Be sure to check everything that's in your inventory before you move on and set it up before you go in, just so you're prepared for what may lie below. So when it's yellow, it is auto-identifying that stuff. There is a way in the settings to set it to auto-identify. I would suggest doing that just because you don't have the time to constantly appraise stuff. It just, you don't. If you hold down right mouse button, or if you hold down left mouse button, excuse me, you can do a powerful attack. And if you catch an enemy from behind, it should deal more damage as well if you catch them off guard. I should have probably gone over some more of the details before I came down this level. Alright, spells. So, I've not found any item that's cursed yet, but if they are red, that means there's a cursed item. If it's cursed food, it'll make you vomit and probably lose health. If it is a cursed item, like a ring or something like that, you then cannot remove it, and it gives you a curse of the sort of negative strength, dexterity, whatever kind of item it is. Now, if an item is green, that means it's blessed, which will give you more statistic based on what kind of item it is. For amulets, though, it doesn't really do anything, and talk to the devs about that. At the start of the game, you'll have some equipment that will give you absolutely nothing. It's just there for appearance. I'd suggest taking it off so you move a little bit quicker, and you free up some inventory slots. Now, utilize your hearing as best you can, because you can't hear the skeletons, you can't hear the rats, you can't hear possible trolls, and there are even unique enemies that may spawn inside the game. if you see a random skeleton with a cloak, a red cloak, and he has a red and black axe called Parashu, don't mess with him. Because that would be funny bones. He is a unique NPC that pops up, and he hits like a truck. Now guys, for checking stats, you just would go to your inventory and you look through. You can change how this looks in your settings. I like it this way because you can see what your current level is, like stealth 61 out of 100. Everything in white are those abilities that you have because of how high your skill is. And the gray tends to be the legendary or things you have not yet earned. This is great for checking with casting and magic, so you can see how soon you can cast your next spells or learn them from spell books. Now, for those who are not familiar with the update on this, spell books can now be used to cast spells. You don't just have to read them and learn them, you can wield them, and after each time you use a spell, it'll deteriorate the book. Now, I'll have to show these things when I actually find them as well. Let's see, what am I missing? If you hold spacebar, it's supposed to be a stealth movement. Also, if you have a shield, it'll be used to block. Blocking does block almost everything except certain items. I believe the mace will go through, well, not a mace, the axe will go through the block, and the mace will do more damage to skeletons. All that stuff was brought up in the Hall of Trials. Pretty interesting stuff. Each level is different. It's not always going to be the X in the same spot. Some of the formations might be similar. You can ping on the map like that in case you need to tell someone where you're going or where they need to go, in case you die. On levels 1 through 5, though, you'll really only see skeletons, spiders, rats, and maybe the occasional troll. Oof. Alright. Only hit by stuff. Way I have it set. 5 health. So, with books in this game, if it's not labeled as some sort of spell book, it is just a random story. Now, the random stories are good in the sense that they're easier to appraise, which leveling up anything, such as appraisal or anything of the sort, is good in the fact that you will be able to get more levels. Like most games, when you get a combat level or overall level of some sort, it allows you to get better movement, dexterity / strength, health, whatever it may be. With open gates, you just click on a lever. Nothing crazy. So, random thing, tins. To open these, you need a tin opener. It's just like food, except you need something special for it. Random achievements, goofy and all, with that. Gold. There actually are shopkeepers in the game. They will typically be within a structure that has money bags along the walls. These are just icons, they're not actual money bags. Oh, hello. Trolls offer a lot of experience, so if you can have a scenario like that, 2 levels, really quickly, really easily. Ooh, magic staff, nice. Alright, so here's the thing with cursed items. So, as I told you before, that's cursed. I don't want to equip that. It's got less attack than normal, and it'll be bound to me. Winnie's report, although it is just a random book, I don't believe that it'll stick to you once I equip it. I'm not going to take a chance, though. There's no reason for that. The novels in this game are also pretty funny. Just, I'm never going to read the Lusty Goblin Maid on stream. Don't make that mistake, chat. Slingshots can be useful, but they're really not that good. Okay, so you see that this magic staff is cursed, right? Well, so a small trick on this game is that magic staffs, pickaxes, etc., they break considerably easily. So, although I can't unequip this because it's cursed, once I use it up, it'll break, which will automatically unequip it. Now, typically I'd save this for opening stuff, but let's say I have multiple of the staff and I want to get some free levels in case I find a spellbook I'd want. I can use it and it'll upgrade my magic and casting ability, which will allow me to level up some more. That actually lasted a lot longer than I would have anticipated. Cloak of Invisibility. I might just hold on to that in case I get some sort of spell or something to remove the curse, because invisibility is really helpful early on. Staff of Light. Okay, so spells that you will be looking for if you don't have high magic will be Light and Force Bolt. Cold is also considerably easy to learn, I believe, as well as Sleep. Reason why you want to have these spells is so you can not only level up your magic, but have another arsenal to your repertoire. I have no idea what that actually means. But if you look at the bottom left side right here, that's your mana points. That's my health. Mana points goes away after each time you use a spell, or if you have a spell that sustains, such as invisibility, levitation, etc. Oh look, an Amulet of Strangulation. Even if it's blessed, don't equip it. Shockingly, the Amulet of Strangulation strangles you. But you get an achievement for it, so it's worth it, right? Alright, my journal, we don't need that garbage. I don't really mess with bear traps a whole lot. Staff of Light, don't really need a whole lot. We pop it real quick. We got us another troll! Whatever abilities your characters have, such as like really good movement or strength, be sure to utilize it while you're playing the game. Take some time, go slow, make sure you understand how the character can best thrive, and move forward. Alright, so here you see the money bags on the door. This is a shopkeeper. If you're level 6 through 10, there will be a fake goblin one. Be careful if there's cell doors on it. It ain't a regular shop. So this guy sells magic staff, so I can sell even that broken one that I would have used earlier. Let's say I just want to sell this one. Boom, sell it. It would have sold for more if I praised it, but I'm a bad player. You can buy stuff from him, etc. If it's a general store, you can sell him anything. Gems, I'm not going to be able to learn these anytime soon, because unfortunately my appraisal is very low. Level 19 is not going to appraise most of those gems. You guys are probably wondering what a Ring of Adornment is. Typically that'll just help with your charisma, which helps you with having allies. Charisma is kind of a goofy skill. I don't see a lot of use to it. If anyone in this that's watching this video knows what exactly charisma helps with, let me know. If an enemy walks into a shopkeeper's area, he will use magic missiles, which is a high-tier magical spell, to kill them. If you're a monster, he will use it to kill you. If it's friendly fire attack, he will probably kill you. I do have a video on killing shopkeepers, so if you're interested in doing that, the rewards are huge. The danger is also huge. Would not suggest it for a speedrun unless you're really stuck with having absolutely nothing and you need a godsend. For late game, amulets, rings, and cloaks are amazing because some of them have magic reflection and or very powerful abilities such as levitation. Teleportation is very goofy in this game. I have one scroll right here I can use. It teleported me basically nowhere. It can teleport you anywhere on the map, and there are spots on the map where you can actually not return from. So be careful when using that. It is a risk in every single way. If you are trying to level up your blocking, I really hope it's not cursed. It's cursed. No! Alright, so if you're trying to block or get rid of an item that's cursed, like a shield, it's considerably easy to level up. Unless you have a skeleton with an axe, because it goes through the block. Now you just hold down spacebar, and if you have multiple shields, that'll break, you'll switch to the next one, and be able to move on. Okay, it's broken, cool. Woohoo, we're done. So right now I'm poisoned, so I might be dead pretty soon. A rotten food. It can look like good food, but it can still be rotten, but that's because you might have appraised it incorrectly. Charm Monster, nice. Charm Monster is a very tough spell to find. I only find it on staves that look like this, and And they tend to be good. If it's cursed, though, it might not work as well as you would hope. Poison resistance, I should have been worrying that prior. I'm a smart guy. Rotten food. Not rotten. Rotten food. Okay. Wow! Bad luck today, chat. Alright. That was kind of unfortunate. So, Spellbook of Light. If I want to read it, boom! Learn the new spell. Press F to cast it. I want to learn this spell or get more levels. I can just keep spamming F. Not gonna do that to you guys. Not worth your time. Also, if I wanted to, I could wield it and use light this way. I'd have to click F again, and it costs a lot more mana because I'm using the spellbook instead. Teleportation rings I would not suggest. It does not teleport you immediately, it does it randomly. Not advised. Now let's waste this real quick. See? Wow, this is lasting a long time for being cursed. Alright, cool, go with that. Chest is locked, I have no way to open it. Lockpick you could typically open it with. But I am not doing that good. If you are able to have a high enough leadership level, you can control where they go, what they do, who they attack, what they pick up. You can basically deck out your allies to make them better. Yeah, first time I definitely suggest taking your time understanding the game before you look to rush it, unless you're very prepared to die early on. Now, every 5 levels there will be a break room. Baron will say something snarky, and it'll just be 2 treasure chests. You can wait around, toss some stuff back and forth. Oh, right. This is something that people don't know very well. You can drop gold by right-clicking when you go into your inventory. It's really helpful if someone needs something in particular, and it can really make the difference in a run. Got another locked door. Now, if you want your ally to open the door for you, okay, if it wasn't a troll, he'd help me with this, but he's a troll. Speed is so much in this game. That's why the ninja is such a speedrunnable character. Brand new spellbook. So as you guys have probably noticed, there are some little defining factors of weapons. So decrepit means that the item is very close to being broken. So the next enemy attack could possibly break this item. If it's excellent, it's really good to use. Like marked spellbooks, that means it's part of the way there. Worn, etc. Just mainly decrepit and excellent are what you gotta look for. Because you don't want anything that's decrepit unless you're a ninja and you have to rely on bad logic. This is a trap area. Once you run on those 2 traps, all these gates open and things flood out. Not gonna mess with that. Ring of Protection gives you basic defense. This is less of a trap room. And you see a really fast moving around. Oh, hey, look, new ally. Tell him to wait there because they don't want him to die yet, which he probably will. Okay, so towels in this game, what they're used for is to stop bleeding. I used to think they could stop other things as well, but they actually can't. I don't know what a cursed towel would do. I figure it's not something to mess with or worry about. When your allies kill other units, it typically will increase their leveling. Oh, the troll died to another troll, that's sad. Okay, so this character just killed a skeleton. So it gives him a level and it gives me a level on leadership. Now if I have it to maximum, I can recruit Goblin, Goblin, all that. Alright, I didn't go through all these things. Sorry, chat. So tinkering, it is used to lockpick stuff, scrap stuff, and if you're an automaton, you can use it for a lot of other things from the DLC. Stealth, you use this to sneak up behind people and get a lot more attack damage on them. Trading, when you buy and sell items, this increases, and it's really good when you get to level 100 because you can sell anything to a trader, shopkeeper, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it takes a long time to get this leveled up, unless you have a lot of cheap things to buy and sell again. Appraisal, this is what you use to check what items actually are. Sorry, chat. Swimming, you obviously use this to swim. It also allows you to swim in lava, but it's gonna hurt a lot. Don't do that if you can help it. When you get to level 100 on swimming, you can then walk over it, which is much more handy. Alright. Leader we talked about. Casting. This just basically helps you with casting spells. When you get to level 100, you learn the Force Bolt, and it costs 0, which makes it super handy. Force Bolt is a spell that does about 5 damage, so that's very handy. Magic. This is what you use to learn spells from spellbooks. Right now I can only learn Force Bolt and Light. The other two are from a DLC class. When you max out, you get a Dominate spell, which will use all your mana potentially to gain a unit as Charm Monster. But if you don't have enough mana, it will take from your health instead. Ranged, this is for throwing items, bow and arrow, etc. And the legendary, they'll never degrade, so if you have something decrepit, it'll never waste away. Sword, mace, axe, polearm, straightforward, just basically their legendary abilities are separate, as well as unarmed shield. You have a better chance to block the attack and take no damage. Alchemy, this is used for potions and alembics. You would use it to make certain things. I find it to be very hard to use correctly because sometimes it'll explode and put you on fire. Funny trick, if you're ever on fire and there's a place with water nearby, just jump in the water immediately. It's going to cool you off. I know, sounds pretty simple, but hard to think of when it's actually happening. Minimap on the right side, be sure to utilize that as best as you can. The problem is it will not show you traps, so if you're speed running through some rooms and there's a trap above you, you're probably dead. There are boulder traps, spike traps, arrow traps, all sorts of things from Indiana Jones. Spell traps on the last 5 levels of the classic version. Lots of stuff to look out for. Now, if you did pass through the exit, it should show up as like a flashing blue dot. Obviously, I have not seen that yet because I'm bad at this game. Keep that in mind, guys. Alright, so I guess I'll have to go down this darn trap room. Alright guys, so it turns out my little troll ally ended up blocking the exit. The exit seems to be right in here, and unfortunately that pressure point was hit via the angry troll that was attacking me, so there's literally no way through here. And my slingshot cannot reach him, and I cannot reach him either. So, that being said, guys, if you are trying to use potions, I forgot to bring this up earlier, if it's something that you can drink, well, you can't drink any of them. I would not suggest drinking the paralysis poison, just potion. Just equip it, you throw it, boom. If it wasn't friendly fire, do something, drink it, etc. Scrolls. Oh, Kobe? Wait, really? Did that just work? That just worked! Woo! Let's go, Chad. Let's go. The video must go on. Here's a break room. So, the reason why it looks like this is because these levels you're leaving and you're going to the swamp. So it's going to look all green. Swamp has a lot of goblins. A few more spiders in my personal opinion. Yeah. It's kind of fun. There's also water, so if you are playing on the DLC, Don't jump in the water as a vampire. It will kill you in a heartbeat. Fountains. If you're trying to get potions from a fountain, you just right-click on the empty bottle and click on the fountain, and it will give you some sort of potion. If you drink from a fountain, that can work too to get something, but it's much rarer. A succubus can spawn from here, which will use the charm ability on either you or allies to murder you all, as well as potentially spells or clawing at you. Be careful with that, friends. Succubus are on any potential level, and even a unique NPC succubus can pop up. Now, this is a fake shop I was talking about before, and this is a real shop. Now, let's see what you got. You got some food for me. Don't really care. So there's the exit. Somehow I already spotted an exit. There's some zombies. But if you find an NPC, it'll say a unique NPC. It will say a specific name, whether it be weird or normal, like Coral Grimes, the Potato King, Funny Bones, etc. And they will drop unique items that are very helpful. Brashu being a powerful axe, a cloak having decent protection. That guy's got arrows that's going to knock you back. I can go over that in a later video on which arrows are actually the most helpful. But these are spring shot ones, so they will send me flying backwards. I'll see if I can show you that right now. Oh, fire arrows, actually, that would have been bad. So to equip the arrows, it will take away your offhand item, whether it be a shield, torch, etc. But then your arrows will not just be normal. They'll have an extra side effect. Alright guys, so you probably hear right now that sound of the portals. That is an extra room. Every 2 levels, there's a chance of going into an extra loot room to get special loot and possibly more experience as well. See, this is our main exit. My ally is gonna die while they try to go through here, but there we go. Next level. This is the temple. I have a video on all the ways to get the 3 orbs, which are very powerful and can kill the final boss for classic mode with considerable ease. Orbs are used for absolutely nothing else but the final boss, unless you finish the game in the non-classic version and are going to the next area. You can sell them for a good amount of money. I'd still rather use it for safety. And we just go and speed run this. Goblins will not typically follow you in the water, but if they have arrows or spells, they will shoot at you. Oh, we got another extra room. This will be the haunted castle. Now, here's the thing. You take anything from inside here, a bunch of zombies pop up and you die. Wouldn't suggest doing that, it's not ideal. Unless you like dying. I mean, hey, if you like that, good for you. Do what you do, man. Oh, cursed fruit juice. It basically became alcohol. Nice. Can't unprepare lights, so I can actually not use a spellbook for some reason. Interesting. Oh, wait, no, hold up. Using a spellbook is spacebar. Sorry, chat. That's what it was. My bad. Don't listen to what I said before. Right, when you are drunk, it is going to take you a lot of time to select things, and you'll spin around. It'll show in the top right area that you were drunk. So go home. These are desert levels. They are notorious for being the most annoying levels to a speedrunner. Because they are winding, they have the most traps, even if you have traps off. Can be utilized though. Watch out for the traps, they will one-tap you. Weird possible faults with cream pies. If you eat one, you can have butterfingers basically, and you'll not be able to hold the items in your hand. Scorpions can potentially stun you. They're another fun thing to worry about. When you hear that weird sound they just heard, that's the insectoids. They're insect people, shockingly, with the name insectoid. Scarabs as well. The insectoids are annoying. They will shoot poison at you potentially, so be wary. They heard it from me. Or bit me. Well, they bit me. I hear a scorpion nearby. Alright, chat. Well, YouTube. I'm not going to do this to you and force you to watch me go through the ever-winding areas. If you enjoy this video, please drop a subscription. If there's anything you would like to see that wasn't brought up in this video, even if it's just some random information, I can make a extended guide on details I may have missed. If you're interested in other videos, I do have a lot of content for Barony on my YouTube, so smash that subscribe button and check that stuff out. It'll be extremely helpful. If you want to see speedruns, I stream this game as well. Just drop by and let me know you want to see me play some Barony, and I'll ask chat if that'll work. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.